Welcome to Invest. We talk about investing, finance, and professional development. As the current time of exactly market opening at 9:33 a.m. on the Eastern Time on March 13 on Monday. Hope you guys had a great weekend, and also, hope you guys have a good start of this week so far. Respect to overall market, as you can see this morning on the equity side, you could see that we had some slight gains earlier in the beginning. Seems like there was some verbiage around, like, with respect to the explosion of SVB, which obviously collapsed exactly 3 days ago on the Thursday, with FDIC announcing their close down. And with that, $42 billion of capital was trapped, which obviously a lot of startup companies and venture funds has been scrambling through the weekend, looking for where they're gonna get their money back from. It seems like during the weekend there were a lot of negotiations, I would say broken auctions, if you may, among banks, the larger banks, if you may, like JP Morgan, Bank of America, HSBC, in respective regions of the world, looking to basically, buy the carcasses of SVB. And obviously, there has been just kind of toss and turn. Nothing has really been, specified so far. No outcome so far. But you can see that across all the news are, basically revolve around SVB. Seems like there's some verbiage around Bill Ackman say, I told you so type of I don't know what that really means. Says that, the U.S. did the right thing protecting SVB depositor, but I mean, it's very hard to understand, how to predict that, the bank, which has been around for 4 decades, to be on the wrong side of the spectrum so quickly, so fast, to blow up in this proportion. It's definitely, hard to kind of grab so far, But anyways, with respect to the foreshadow and foregoing perspective on SVB, it seems like HSBC did submit a bid to pay $1, €1 for the UK arm of SVB. It seems like this is more of like a FU type of take it or leave it type of perspective. But one euros. I mean, can you even take the bus with €1? But I mean, it is a collapse, right? And it does require a lot of rescue package, which that means it will require a lot of cash to be burned, right? In addition to that, you can see that just on the high level front page, First Republic has also slid by 65% as of this morning. Ooh, crazy. And take a look at the crypto side of the equation. You could see that we are also quite muted, but not as obviously volatile as the financial sector stocks, right? Which is understandable because of the negative foreshadow from the SVB debacle, and then First Republic would be the next most comparable bank, and obviously with that being said, it also slide by 65%. And then looking at the crypto side, you could see that's relatively muted. But I think more importantly, let's take a look at the index front to see how is the market looking like. So with respect to the market front, you can see that we're down 1.23%. The sell-off continues. On a daily, we are very depleted, right, at the 31 out of 70. And on the weekly right now, we form a cross section down. This death cross that's being formed in front of us. It seems like the reverse head and shoulder is still being formed. Like, this is the head, the shoulder, and it seems like we are forming the secondary shoulder right now, with a lot of shifty movements. It seems like we are bouncing in approximately about 376 coming up. So we still have some more room to come down from, knowing the fact that we just formed a death cross. At the same time, with respect to the resistance level, I think the current level is fairly supportive, but I think we might have a little bit lower level to reach down to 37 out of 70, which technically translates into somewhere around 365 from here. And then on a monthly, you could see that it is looking like we're supposed to kind of get supported and then eventually glide back up. Right now, at the moment, right now, we just looking for a landing path. We are a little bit elongated at these 49 out of 70, so coming down to a lower level of 44 would be possible. And then going back to the EV stocks, just take a look. Across the spectrum is relatively red because these are more of a smaller, small cap stocks, and they tend to get hits a lot. Tesla is also down 5.33%. Obviously, the whole market is being pulled by the financial sector. And with respect to SVB, it is, has a lot of connective tissues among all industry sectors because a lot of companies have their cash deposit in this bank, right? So now with First Republic blowing up, with, SVB also blowing up, who knows? Maybe some other bigger banks, they are also blowing up. So we shall see how that goes. So let's just go back into the topic of discussions. Ethereum is at the 1585. What's going on right now? It seems like with respect to the daily, we are about to form a golden cross upward. But obviously it's not the most supported right now because the overall market is relatively dampening. But it is looking like we are about to cross up with the 52 out of 70. So that means technically we are not going to see a huge amount of surge because of the relatively extended level that we're at right now. On the weekly, we are looking to kind of cross down eventually with the 51 out of 70. So I would say the crypto market, despite its having a delay effect, it is looking relatively bearish at the moment. I don't foresee any substantive movement upward at the moment because across the spectrum is relatively extended on the daily and weekly. We will need to come down to a lower level to basically match this level on the weekly to cross down before we cross up from here, right? On the Bitcoin side of the equation, people are fleeing to Bitcoin because it's more of a safe haven effect. And this is similar to the effects that we see in the bond market and also in the fixed income market because people tend to flee away to more of a safe haven instruments. And with financial sectors not being the most, you would think that banks are safe, right? Obviously, because it's a bank, you'll put your money in a bank for safety. But it seems like these banks are also, in relatively difficult waters at the moment. So people are fleeing to other assets, and Bitcoin is one of those prominent ones, which is one of the reasons why it's green at the moment. Take a look at the trading reports from the big whales, shall we? Let's take a look at ARK Invest real quick. Pull this up right now. It seems like with respect to the recent time frame, last Friday, no changes on the portfolio, which is quite interesting. So it seems like they were taking more of a pause approach. And I think it quite makes sense. I'm curious to see like how is ARK Invest doing with respect to their SVB allocations and exposure on the depository front. And also with respect to BlackRock, it was a relatively heavy sell day. It was just purely sell day rather than a buy day. It seems like they were expecting further dump, which, in this case, it did happen. And it is happening in front of our eyes right now. So no changes on purchasing behavior, but a lot of dump. You could see that collectively. This is billions of dollars. More than billions of dollars, like tens of billions of dollars being sold. So a lot of whales are, like, the whales are dumping clearly, right? So what is the picture looking like? It seems like, the crypto side, we are foreseeing still a bearish pattern. The equity side, as we understand, is dampened right now, but looking like we are looking to rebound as we are reaching to a lower level of 378. So we have to see how the rest of the market will unfold going forward. It seems like the Fed and obviously, which is already in huge difficulty, they're in a dire situation. The banks are also failing. So are we in the middle of second or third global financial crisis at the moment? It seems like we are in ways that how it's looking like right now. But ultimately, it's about how we take our lessons from what we learned in the two lessons in the past. and which bank will basically come out to support, uh, you know, basically First Republic and SVB going forward, and try to get us out of this hump going forward, right? So I appreciate you for joining me today. It is a relatively negative beginning on a Monday. It's definitely a black swan, but with a lot of, I guess, tentacles of negative factors, that comes into play. So let's stay strong. Let's stay, focused. It is better to hold rather than sell at the moment. But if you bought in, I would just suggest you hold. If you are looking to buy, I think, around these choppy weather would be the perfect logical time to start DCAing and holding for a long term if you believe in the fundamental of the assets that you're buying. Okay, so appreciate you. Have a good day and take care. Bye.